everyone, today we're going to be doing something fun I've been dying to try, and it's making a bunch of cards using one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So we're going to start out by cutting our page on one side at 10 inches, and then we're going to turn it once, and on the 12-inch side we're going to cut at 3.5 once, and then 3.5 again. We're going to set that one piece to the side, turn our 3.5 inch and cut it right in half at 5, because remember we did the 10 inch. And then you're going to line up your points along the cut line. Now if you have the Fiskars one where it has like the wire or whatever, I find that helps line up your points for making the cut on the diagonal. But once you're done with that, you're going to set them aside. On the original 3.5 inch one that we cut, we are going to cut two 2.5 inch strips, okay, all the way down, so you'll get 4 of those. And then on this one, which is 5 by 10, you are going to cut 1.25 inch strips, and you're going to go all the way down the entire sheet, so that way you wind up with 8 pieces. And then the last piece, which is actually the first piece we cut, you're going to cut that at 3 inches. So that last piece would be 2 inches by 12, and then you're going to cut 3-inch pieces, leaving you with 4. Alright, so the first squares we did there, that was the 2 inch by 3 inch. You should have 4. That one is 2.5 by 3.5, 1.25 by 5, and then 5 by 3.5, which we cut on the diagonal. And I'm just showing you real close here the different sizes. Okay, and then you're going to set those aside. Now the next step, we're going to be doing some foiling, and off camera I wind up cutting out a bunch of sayings or a couple of words out of die cuts. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, I die cut some thanks, some yous, like YOU, a hello, and I forget the other one that I printed out. Thanks. I think I said thanks. Yeah. So right now what I did was I took the toner sheets that I showed you in a previous video, and I cut out 3 of the thanks. I'm putting the rose gold over top, and we're going to run this one through on 4. I think when I did it on my last video, I did it on heat setting number 3. And I found that the 4, I think, was actually a lot better, especially with the toner sheets, because I like to make sure that it has good, even coverage. And I just ran it through a second time just to make sure it did really good. And then we're going to set that aside real quick. Alright, and off to the side, I'm unplugging it because I want to make sure that it cools. And then I'm decided to pull it out and then do the reveal. And boom, I love it. I'm saving these sheets because there's spots on it that is open, so if I get like hearts or anything like that, I can always die cut and use, you know, that leftover pieces. Now, here's my thing with the toner. I'm not sure if you could put on the stick it adhesive and it would go through and not melt on the laminator. So what I decided to use the oldie but goodie, which is my Xyron Create a Sticker. And once you have it go through, you have to rub along your words. And you can see some of the other words that I did. Oh, happy was the other one. And then for the cards, I decided to pick out the different items that I wanted to use from this particular Stampin' Up set. Okay, so we have Thinking of You. I think I have a birthday, sunshine, And then I have a different stamp that's not in this particular one that I chose like happy birthday for. So for the inks and the flowers, we're using the hybrid, My Favorite Things hybrid ink in the Wild Cherry, which is probably one of my favorite reds. And I'm going to use the VersaFine Black Onyx ink, because I find you get the best coverage when using that particular ink with the clear stamps. So we got 4 of the flowers, and we're going to do this one right here, which I love. It has a spiral effect, but it's just, there's something about it. I just really like it. And at first, my attempt for these flowers was to cut them out by hand, do a little fussy cutting. But I decided to get the better look, I decided to use the scalloped circles that I had from Spellbinders. And though it fits, it does not fit accurately. It's not like, because they weren't made for each other, but it does the trick for what I was trying to do, which is just make it easier to cut these pieces out. So I'm just going through and getting my different colors that I needed, and then I decided to go straight to the black with the flower. And I'm just going to keep re-inking and stamping. As we go here. Now that one right there, that last one I did stamp that one a little too close to the one I had stamped previously, but because of how the scalloped circle is going to work out, it's not even going to matter. Excuse me. Wow. All of a sudden I had to yawn. My bad. Keeping it real. I'm up late doing the voiceover, and it may happen again. Alright, so let's get started. Now that I have the flowers cut out and everything is set to go, I decided to start with the thanks. And on that one, I'm using the 1 1/4 by 5 inch strips. And I decided to use the So Much. And then on this one, I wanted to show you one of the rose gold thanks. So I'm just taking the back off of that so that way I can get the biggest one off. And then just slightly above, just a little bit past the edge, I'm laying down the thanks. And if there is any, sticky or whatever on there, I just rubbed it off with my finger and then left it at that. And for all of the flower pieces that I use, I'm going to be using the foam tape, the Scotch foam. And then I decided to make sure I bring out my bling, and I just put a little, like rhinestone in the center of the flower. Sometimes I like to give you a hard time, but once it's in, it's perfect, and it's just enough. Now, of course, I had a little bit of a smudge, so on this particular one, I wind up putting 3 more bling, so that way the one that had to cover the little smudge wouldn't stand out like it was weird, like, why are you here? So trying to just give it a little bit of a flair. And my first thought was to show you all the cards, doing them the same and stuff, but I just found that it'll just be easier if I hit the highlights. So on the back side of this paper, which is actually graphic 45 paper, there was a stripe pattern. So I decided to show you with the hello stamp what that would look like. And the secondary stamp that I use is sunshine. So these particular cards will say hello sunshine. And I think those are great just to like send someone a note just to say, hey, you were in my mind, just wanted to say hello type thing. So same thing, foam, rhinestone in the center, and it's done. Alright, and then one more just showing, the other side of the paper that we've been using. And even though on camera I don't think I do the rest of them, but I rubbed as much as the stickiness off so that way they would be set ready to go for the remaining of the cards, excuse me. So doing the red one, foam, stamping sunshine, and then I wound up forgetting the bling on that one, but I go back later, like at the very end, and I do put the rhinestone on it for the little bling. Now on the diagonal one, I wanted to use the happy birthday, and I have a stamp that actually does the full, you know, happy birthday, instead of using one happy and then the cutout. So I wanted to show you both ways. So we're gonna do the happy birthday, put the stamp or the flower on the foam, and then add our bling, and that card is done. And I find these ones they're really kept, you know, quite simple. You know, just a little bit of paper, and the lady who I got it from, she actually wound up using, I think it's a Stampin' Up! Pre-made card, and they're a little bit smaller than your typical A2, so hers fit a little bit better because the card itself was a little bit smaller. But I kind of liked how it turned out. I'm not mad at it with the A2 size. It gives me room for like my stamp right there, another happy birthday, some foam and the rhinestone, and you got yet another version of the card we did, you know, just a few minutes ago, you know. And I just like how they look. They're clean and simple, and I think it's something that if somebody wanted, you know, matching cards and different sentiments, something like this would work really well. And I think I'm gonna definitely be doing this again. And this time I moved the words up a little bit and moved up the flower. It creates a nice look. Now this one right here is actually the smaller one, the 2x3. And up above that I decided to put the thinking of you, or the thinking of, excuse me. And then I'm gonna take the die cut U and place it in the bottom right hand corner. Sorry, it's a little bit off the edge there. I think I slide it up here in a little bit. But it's all, the whole style of it is pretty similar. The flower center with the bling or the gemstone, and then, you know, the stamping and a die cut. I think it works pretty well. I'm just going to show you one more doing the flip side with the stripes, putting the U down at the bottom. And once again, with these stickers, you know, I always rub it because you never know when there's going to be some adhesive sticking around. And then at the top, thinking of, and then adding our flower and the bling. So this whole thing seriously was super fun, and because I only had like, I think 4 flowers left, I had like 2 extra flowers, 2 or 3, I decided to double up on these 2 thinking of yous, which allowed to give it, you know, just a little bit more dimension with the black and the red. And once I had them layered, I layered them both with the foam tape. In the center, we're going to put a rhinestone bling in each one once I get them placed. And there you have it. I like that. Now, if you decide to double it up, you're going to have to cut out way more, just to let you know. So, these are the different things. Here's hello. 4 of each design. And you can do them in a way where, you know, you can switch it out, use different sentiments, maybe in the same design, use 2 different sentiments. It's up to you, but I really do enjoy how this all came together. And the lady who I got the information from, I will leave a link down below to her video, which is where I got all the measurements and the different cuts. And this was fun, you guys. I think I want to try it again and maybe even take it up a notch, maybe adding some matting on the design paper. We'll see. So, okay guys, just remember, as you're looking at all the different designs with the photos that we've taken, I want you to remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and definitely share, okay? Because I'm going to keep reminding you that when we get to the 300 subscribers, we're going to have another giveaway, okay? So, I will see you guys on Friday's video, and I hope you have a great day.